If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. There are 3 things that I'm routinely told about my channel that my philosophies are about the nomadic lifestyle is wrong. 1, they routinely say that I'm too negative, which we've talked about endlessly, about the lifestyle. That all I ever do is focus on the hard stuff. The second thing they say a lot is when I bring up another YouTuber that has given information that I don't find to be that accurate, they think that it's not my responsibility to call that out. It's the viewer's responsibility to identify this issue with the other YouTuber. The third thing they talk about is my philosophy if you're being forced to live in your vehicle. I used to have a subscriber talk to me every day. He would get on Facebook and message me. He talked about how he loved my channel and loved the idea that I said, follow your dream, but the dream may not be an RV dream. And after our pop-up camper fire, my channel kind of took a turn because I realized, wait a minute. There was 2 things that happened that I realized that, maybe I shouldn't be promoting this lifestyle like all the other YouTubers. Maybe I should be taking a harder stance on some of the issues that you're going to run into that I wasn't prepared for. One was the pop-up camper fire, obviously, and someone burning it down. And how all of a sudden, your whole world just collapses because you don't have any resources out here. The second thing that got me to change my attitude about it a little bit was I actually met a couple, and I've talked about this story, who was absolutely miserable living this lifestyle because they were convinced by another YouTuber to come out and live this lifestyle. And when they got out here, they were supposed to save them all kinds of money, and it didn't. Once I decided to start really talking about the realistic lifestyle, he implied that I wasn't being honest, that there are ways around everything. For example, I advocate that you need tens of thousands of dollars in emergency fund to live this lifestyle. He insisted that you don't need this much. Why do you keep telling people to come out here with tens of thousands of dollars when if your car breaks down, the most you're ever going to need is $5,000 or $6,000? However, he had a medical condition that he had to go and spend several days in the hospital. It ended up costing $70,000. Well, he didn't have that much money in his emergency fund, so now he is in debt. Of course, I advocate for being debt-free before you come out here. So now he's in debt. So his emergency fund wasn't large enough to cover his emergency. So later he told me that he was chosen as a volunteer for this nonprofit organization that is being started up by a YouTuber, where the YouTuber is going to be handing out vehicles and cash to nomads who don't have the resources to get one. So anytime where I would make a video where I would point out some of the errors of the other YouTubers, he would come back and say, look, Rob, it's not your responsibility to point out their errors. It is the viewer's responsibility. What was interesting is anytime I would make a video, not about YouTubers, but about how hard the lifestyle was, talk about, having to do maintenance on your electric system and whatever, he would come back and say, you need to stop talking so negative about the lifestyle. You need to start showing some of the positive and happy things. He wanted people to do research to find out if the other YouTuber was not correct, but when anybody would make a video that would show that, wait, that other YouTuber isn't correct, show, okay, this YouTuber says, okay, it's easy to have electric out here, and then someone would actually show, like me, say, no, it's not easy. He would say, you can't do that. So what he's saying is other people need to do their research, take responsibilities for themselves, but I don't want you to make the video that contradicts that. Now, the third thing I brought up was, people are getting ready to be forced into their cars. I say that is probably not the best solution, because once you come out and live in this car, you all of a sudden lose all the governmental resources that you could have applied for. And I always suggest, instead of researching how to live in your car, you should be researching how to stay in your apartment, or see if you can find a cheaper apartment, or if you can go to another location, another state, get a job there. It's a lot better than living under a bridge, is what they tell me. Well, I've been talking to this lady for a long time now. I would say 2 or 3 months. And she is apparently going to be forced to change her situation. And I don't know what the whole story is, and I haven't tried to pry into it. But in the beginning, when I started talking to her, she kept saying she was going to be forced to live in a car. She watched my videos where I suggested that you really need to focus on other aspects of trying to resolve your situation instead of living in a car. Well, this lady really does a lot of research. I mean, she tells me about all her researches. She has sent me videos of different YouTubers who live this lifestyle and run into hard times. So she's really starting to see that maybe living in the car isn't the best solution. And I'm really glad. Just the other day, she sent me 2 videos of people living in their vehicles, and it's really cold. Well, this lady also lives in the Chicago area. The Chicago area just got dumped on with the blizzard. She was telling me how she couldn't get out of her house because the snow was so deep the door wouldn't open. Well, she has the resources right this minute to ask someone, she called someone, shovel the snow off the sidewalk so she could get the door open. Well, when she got to her car, the ice was so thick on her car, she couldn't get the door open on her car. She realizes, what would happen if you're in your car when this ice storm happens? She has mentioned to me several times that she was taken in by these other YouTubers. You know, the hype and how easy it is. So she said to me, you know, the other day I was watching one of your videos where you talked about maybe I should focus my attention on finding resources so I can stay in my house. I really encourage you that if you're getting ready to be forced into living in your car, please take the time to really research everything. Like this lady did. She researched not just the big YouTubers, but she researched the little YouTubers too. Start researching ways where you can stay in your home. Thanks for watching. Like if you like the video, and happy travels.